What's up, guys? Welcome to today's episode of the Men Made for More podcast. Today, we're talking about what gets measured gets managed. And some of you may have heard this before. I believe it is a Peter Drucker quote originally. At least I know he has said it plenty of times over the years. And what this means is that the things that we are measuring are the things that get managed, and what gets managed is what gets improved and what we can see change in. And what you need to know is, are you tracking at all? Are you tracking the things that matter? And if so, are you tracking the right things? Because a lot of people are into tracking, and now more than ever, we have so much data at our fingertips, from our phones to how many steps to Apple Watches and the Whoop bands and different things that track everything we could possibly need to know. Yet, are we tracking the right things? Are we tracking the things that are most important? And this is key to any kind of success that you're going to achieve, because the things that matter the most, the things that are the most meaningful things in terms of progress, are the things that you need to be tracking and you need to be measuring so that you can make sure that you're seeing improvement in them. So again, like I mentioned, for those that listened yesterday, for those that didn't, I'll do a quick recap here. Is you want to make sure that you're tracking across all the categories of your life that matter the most. So spiritually, you want to make sure that you're tracking physically, emotionally, mentally, and financially, or work-wise as well. So these are the things that, you can have more or less categories based on where you're at, but you want to make sure that you're tracking things across all these categories. Now, what can that look like? For physical wise, it's very easy to track some physical things. We can track things like weight. And although I've talked about in the past podcasts, I don't think weight is the best thing to track. Something like body fat might be better if you're after trying to be more confident in the way that you look. Could be things like the weights you're lifting, though, in terms of how much weight you're moving with a certain movement. It could be run times or some kind of cardio measure as well. There's a lot of things within physical. It can be your macros and how much nutrition, how much food you're consuming. And again, I've done past episodes on all these if you're looking for the help on specific physical things to be tracking. Now let's look at other areas of your life, though. What else can you be measuring that can lead to improvement in some of these more ambiguous areas, some of these areas that aren't as straightforward? Physically, I think it's easy to see that, yes, these are things that if I'm improving in those areas, then I'm moving in the right direction. But what about relationship health? Or what about your spiritual walk and what you believe in? What are some things that can be objective type measures that you can use to see if you're improving? Now, in those cases, I recommend that you find the root cause, what we'll call our 80-20 rule. What's that 20% of effort that creates 80% of your results? So in your relationship, this could be, words you say to your spouse or your significant other. That could be how many date nights you're having. It could be how much time you're spending, how much quality time you're spending during the day. These are types of things that you can start to measure. And if you're having a tough go in a relationship, pay attention to, am I spending time? Am I giving compliments and acknowledgments? Am I doing some of these different things that will indirectly lead to a better relationship? So those are some things that you can start to do. Another thing that I like across all these categories, and I do this once a week, is score yourself. So write down the main categories of your life that are most important, and 0 to 10 scale. Write how you did this week. Write what needs improving and what went well. Those two things. So score, put a number on it, 0 to 10. And this can be something like relationships, or so for me personally, my relationship with Lindsay. And then this would be 0 to 10. How did I do this week? And you put a number on it, put what you did well, put what needs improving. And that's a simple way to see if you're getting feedback. If I'm consistently scoring in 5 or 6 in that category, and I look back week to week and I'm not seeing improvement, then something needs to change. I can guarantee you in those cases, you'll find that the same things that under that what needs improving category will probably be some recurring things that you can start to say, hey, I might want to start addressing that. I know what to do. I just need to actually follow through and do it. But that's it's not a perfect science, but it is a way to see improvement. And you can do this. There's ways you can do this daily. There's ways you can do this weekly. I recommend at least weekly for you guys for that 0 to 10 scale, and then looking at what needs improving and what is going well. And these are just ways to bring more awareness to how you can be improving across these different areas. Because if you just aimlessly go through life, if you just let life happen to you, if you're not aware of these things, if you're not tracking these things, then all of a sudden, I see this too often, 5 years go by, 10 years go by, and you're like, hey, I haven't really been eating that healthy. I haven't been working out as much. My relationships have been slipping. My job's kind of gotten stale. I haven't been progressing. And these are the types of comments we hear when people are not actively working on improving these areas. And it starts with awareness, and then it comes down to just doing what you say you need to do. And that's where that what needs improving column can be really really impactful, because it's something that can give you a lot of feedback into saying, hey, I might want to start doing more of that. So give that a try, guys. Make sure you're scoring yourself in these different areas. Make sure you're measuring it. If you have objective things, that's great. Things like if you run a business, financial metrics, if you're into fitness, how much weight you move, those are easy, objective, very concrete things you can do. But even turn these more ambiguous things into concrete scores by just giving yourself a 0 to 10 score and seeing how you're improving. Get creative with it. There's lots of ways you can do it. If you guys have any other suggestions, I would love to hear them, because I'm always open to seeing how I can improve with this as well. And I learned from a lot of you guys and your feedback that you've already given over the first 90 plus episodes, and feedback I look forward to getting from the guests that come on here and from you guys listening as well. And that being said, I do appreciate every one of you guys. We have our 100th episode coming up next week already, which is absolutely crazy to think about. I would love to hear from you guys. I have my phone number there. I want you guys to shoot me a text if you guys are listening, or you can DM me on Instagram at IO Strength Performance. Also, if you guys are listening, would love if you could share this with just one person. Find one person, go through your contacts, someone who needs to hear this message. Send it out to them. Give them a word of encouragement. And if you guys are loyal listeners, if you guys have been enjoying the show, I appreciate you guys subscribing and leaving a 5-star review for it, as that helps other people discover the show as well. I appreciate every one of you guys. Looking forward to the 100th episode to kind of recap where we've been and look ahead to where we're going and the vision I have for this podcast and for all you guys listening. So appreciate all you guys. Can't thank you guys enough for being with me, whether it's the first episode or whether you guys have listened to 90 plus at this point. I appreciate all you guys, and I will talk to you soon.